Even Dabo is booing. You think I'm making that up? Go listen to the man in his own words. By the way, I'm having my Monday morning coffee. I can stop anytime. I don't have to have coffee. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're hanging out with me here. Dabo addressed fans that were booing, and he said even I was booing. You can get, I mean, it's all over the internet. You can go find it. Because I mean, here's what he said in his post-game comments. Hey, man, expectations are high here. We got to play better, and this is a place that cares, and we show we care by how we play, so that's part of the game. It's a passionate place, and I was right along with him. Right answer. Right answer. Thank you very much. Coach Swinney, one of the best things you've said in years. Seriously. I can't say that makes me feel good reading that Dabo said that, because there's been times, and you know it, that Coach Swinney, who we appreciate what he's done, we know he's the one who built this thing. He's the one who brought the championships, who made the change, who used the facilities that we had, and even pushed for further upgrades, brought in the players that we needed, brought in the coaches that we needed, won 2 national championships, the 6 consecutive playoffs. I know we went to the playoff last year. Okay, wonderful. Not trying to be a jerk here, but we limped into that one. But that 6 consecutive playoff run, that was unbelievable, and that man did it. But we also know that there is times that Coach Swinney has taken up for his coaching staff and for his team and lost some rapport with the fans, because the fans are looking at him going, you're the one who taught us what best is the standard looks like. We're just reminding you of what you used to do and what you how you used to accomplish it. And we don't see it, Coach, because we do believe in you. That comment right there that he just made, even I was booing, makes me feel a little bit better. I'm going to read the backside of that again. One more time, you need to hear this. Hey, man, expectations are high here. We got to play better. And this is a place that cares, and we show we care by how we play. Now, folks, let me tell you this. This statement says a lot. That this coming Saturday against Georgia Tech, and of course, I'll be previewing the game, talking about Haynes King. By the way, he sat out this past Saturday with a lower body injury. Brent Keith sat him out, said, hey, listen, sitting him out 1 week against Gardner. He didn't say Gardner-Webb, but I'm saying it, against Gardner-Webb. You set him out for 1 week instead of him continue to play, and it turns into 4, 5, and 6 weeks. Okay? They're getting Haynes King rested up for us. And he terrorized Miami. He terrorized Georgia for 8 overtimes. They couldn't get out of that game fast enough. Georgia Tech, in the very first ball game of the year against Colorado, turned the ball over, I believe, 3 consecutive times. Their first 3 drives of the season, check maybe 3 out of the first 4 drives of their 2025 season, they turned the ball over on their side of the field and still beat Colorado. Who ran the game-winning touchdown? Haynes King. Go watch it too. That was a very small window for him to get through, and he did. Now, this Saturday against Georgia Tech in Atlanta with Brent Key, Jamal Haynes, and Haynes King, I'm telling you, Clemson can't come out and play flat like they did. Well, they've been playing offensively pretty much all season, except for the third quarter this week. And then the drive before the end of the first half against LSU. They can't be doing that. against Georgia Tech. But that our coach is saying, yep, I was booing too. Hey, man, expectations are high here. We got to play better. And this is a place that cares. And we show we care by how we play. So that's part of the game. It's a passionate place. And I was right along with them. A passionate place. Do you understand, folks? And Dabo gets this, though. That comment says it. This is a passionate place. I want to ask you today, are you passionate about lacrosse? Are you passionate about soccer? Some of you are. But the U.S., no matter how much money's been poured into the U.S. to try to make us love soccer more than college football or more than the NFL, which I'm not an NFL fan, but American football, yes, it's gained popularity, but football, American football still reigns supreme. As to where you go anywhere else in the world, they're huge soccer fans. They're passionate about it. They'll get into fights over soccer. Probably not here. In Brazil, yeah. In the UK, yeah. Where there is passion, there is money. Passionate fans will spend outrageous amounts of money, even money they don't have. They'll put it on a credit card for a team that they care about, no matter what the sport is. So when LSU came to town, I went on SI tickets. SI tickets, the cheapest ticket I could find to the LSU Clemson game was about $300. And it was way up in the stands. I mean, the players are going to look like ants. Way up in the top of the deck. I even think you were up there actually having to hold on to one of the flags on the stadium. You know, you're rocking back and forth where the wind's blowing you, and one wrong step, and the old Death Angel's going to have some work to do, some paperwork to fill out. Okay, it was that high. Now, by the way, upper deck seats can be fantastic. If you get in the right area, you can see you can see a really good overview. It's almost kind of like you're watching TV. So I'm not knocking upper deck whatsoever. Some of my favorite seats are up there. But like the worst seats was like $300 a piece. If Clemson fans are not passionate about Clemson football, they won't show up and pay those prices. And like the good old economics 101 class, supply and demand. If there's a bunch of people not buying tickets at $300 a piece, that price comes down. And even more people are not buying, that price comes on down. And then over the years, let's say IPTAY, you join IPTAY and they start to look at the price of their tickets, and they're starting to go, hold on. People who's had tickets for many years now, they're not buying anymore. Well, why are they not buying anymore? Well, they say the tickets are too expensive versus what the team's production. So they're not buying. They'll cherry pick a few games here and there, but they're not going to buy a full season's worth of tickets. Sorry, they're just not going to do that. Then what do? The price comes down. Why? Because people are not as passionate about their team. Do you understand that the reason that college football is successful, especially in the South and then places like Ohio and Michigan and Texas, the reason that their football teams have money, unimaginable amounts of money poured into them, is because their fans are passionate about it versus going to, I don't know, the Northeast. You remember when Boston College was really good and Matt Ryan played for them, but nobody cared? They were the number 3 ranked team in the country. And because the Bruins are there, because golly, I just went blank. The Patriots are there. The Celtics are there. The Red Sox are there. Nobody cared about Boston College being number 3 in the country. No one cared. They did not care. The stadium still had open seats in it, but not in Clemson, South Carolina. It's called passionate fans. When people care, they're the ones who drives those ticket prices. They're the ones who says that they'll pay an outrageous amount of money to clear their day to come to a football game or to sit and watch a football game on TV, which drives ratings, which drives certain markets, which the big networks. I swear this coffee is like coffee cup number 4. It's not strong enough. Lord, I got to start mixing some stain in there or something for a little kick. But when the big network sees that people watches Clemson football, all of a sudden they want to feature those games in a primetime slot. Why? Because that will drive viewers, which will drive advertising. That's a marketing strategy. But you notice no one's beating down the door of Wake Forest. Because, yeah, there's probably some Wake Forest fans out there that are truly passionate, but Wake Forest is not a good football team. Clemson is. And so when you have that passion, you can charge those prices. You can pay the coach $11+ million per year because the money is there. Donors are dropping large amounts of money, all the way down to the small donors. But if you're not passionate, you don't have that. You have Wake Forest. You have Kennesaw State. You have, name any team that is just historically bad. That's what you have. And I want to make that perfectly clear to anyone who will listen to me. That when fans truly care, they will empty their pockets of money that they don't even have to go see a game. Passion is what drives these coaches' salaries. It's what drives NIL. So when people are in the fans, now I was not one of them booing. I was just sitting there shaking my head, just staring, going, here we go, wasting eligibility again. Here we go again. Here. But there were boos. And no matter how you feel about booing, well, that's not good sportsmanship. Okay, good. All right. Again, I said I wasn't doing that. But the sentiment is, you have the talent. You have this beautiful facility of Death Valley. You have a guy standing on the sidelines who's won 2 national championships. One of the very few in college football history. You have most of your team coming back from last year with a third-year starter at quarterback, 4 out of 5 offensive linemen returning with a guru leading them. You have one of the best wide receiver rooms in America. And poor Antonio Williams, I hate that he got hurt, but Tyler Brown has stepped up, so there's no fall off there. Sorry, that excuse doesn't fly with me. Then the defense is loaded, whether you want to believe it or not, and I know that they haven't played that well in the first. They didn't play that well in the first half, but they're one of the main reasons we came back with the turnovers, giving Clemson a short field. Tom Allen can coach. I'd like to see more aggressiveness out of him, but he can coach, and the defense is better. So people are booing because they're sitting here going, this doesn't make sense. This is where you're laying out one of those simple math equations of 1 + 1 is equaling 3.5. And it's like, no, that math ain't mathing. So that he is saying, yeah, even I was booing. And then he turns around and talks about the passion. That means a lot to me. So that's part of the game, quote Swinney. It's a passionate place, and I was right along with him. Coach Swinney, you just taught fan speak, and I enjoyed it. I mean, really. Instead of looking at the fans and talking about appreciation over expectation, the coach, he nailed it right here. Yeah, I was booing with you. That I can live with. Because if the head coach, the head honcho, the man who's in control, the one that brought 6 consecutive playoffs, multiple 10-win seasons, 2 national championships in a 3-year span, if that guy's booing, then that means behind closed doors he's booing too, to certain people. The last thing I'm going to say before I leave here. Bunch of people in here. It's good to see y'all. Probably not going to get to the comment section right now. Y'all please forgive me. There's a bunch of you in here already on a Monday morning. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, I'm almost at 8,000 subscribers, and the channel just turned 3 years old. Thank y'all. For everyone who subscribed, I want to tell you thank you. I really appreciate it. Before I make my point and shut my mouth, which is very difficult for me to do at times, I get so fired up and so happy and worked up. I really enjoy doing this. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. It's not like starting a channel back in 2010 and you could fart in a microphone and 100,000 people would subscribe. No, it's not that way anymore. It's not that way anymore. So to have almost 8,000 subscribers in 3 years on a channel that focuses on one specific team, to me, that's a big deal, and I appreciate it. I'm almost at 8,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything, and I appreciate it. Next up, please pass this along in the Clemson community. I hope you'll do it. There are more and more people who are, I run into people that was like, you know what? I used to think you were just a pessimistic jerk. And I truly started listening to you. And then I started paying attention that over time, more times than not, you were just saying what you were seeing. And saying, based on what I've saw in the past, this is what's going to happen. You know what? I now listen to you. Folks, I get it wrong all the time, but I also get it right a lot. So if you like that sort of thing, I hope you'll pass it along to your friends who loves Clemson, who loves college football as well. Also, last but not least, I have a channel called Another College Football Podcast. This week, I'm going to be giving you the predictions for a ton of games. South Carolina, Vanderbilt. Of course, we got Miami and South Florida. Yeah, South Florida is looking good. All of those will be coming out. It'll be on that channel. It's a brand new channel. That link is below. I hope you'll go subscribe. Folks, here's my final point. Final drink of coffee before I make this, because I need the energy to make this point. If you really look at Clemson and you look at the team, you know that everything is not perfect. Perfect rarely happens. The old saying goes, if you wait for everything to be perfect before you take a certain action, you'll never take action. That's true. It's very difficult for teams to go undefeated. It's very difficult for teams to just annihilate every team they face and then go on and win a national championships. It's so rare that you can name out only a few teams who pretty much did that. A lot of national champions, they have at least one, if not two, blemishes. Take Ohio State last year. They lost to Michigan. What's rivalry? That Michigan team wasn't that good, and you know it. They lost 2 ball games last year. They went to the college football playoff, beat the crap out of everybody. But that was a 2-loss team. But they had the look of a team that could pretty much get it done. And so with that said, I know we're early in the season, but I said this last night on a phone call with one of my friends. My hesitation is that we're in year 3 and our offensive strategy does not look any different than in the past 5 years. Yes, some play calls are different, but the overall result. And that's the reason I hesitate with going, well, it's a young season. We're going to get it together. Are we going to get it together? Why would you think we're going to get it together? Has the past 2 years not shown you anything about us getting it together? The only thing that makes me feel good, and again, I'm not calling for anyone to be fired. I'm just calling for them to learn this current strategy is not working. Change. Change. Whoever's calling the offensive plays, I don't care who it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know who's influencing what. Just please, please, let's be aggressive. Let's open up the playbook across the board for the rest of the season and never go conservative again. I don't want anyone fired. I just want them to be aggressive. And I'm going to finish with this. I was booing too, says the man who is in control. The man who could fire anybody, who could kick anyone off the team, who could probably have anyone banned from being in the media room. The man who has more power than probably anyone in Clemson says, I was booing too. Does that translate to an about face on the offensive strategy for the rest of the season? Or? It's a good question. But hopefully, it's a sign of good things to come. Let me know in the comment section what you think. With Dabo booing, will things change? Will be a one-time fix against Georgia Tech and back to the old ways, or will we see an about face because we realize this season should be special? But so far, it's not living up to it. Hope you'll subscribe. It is free. I do appreciate it. Y'all